When you think about the mid-size sedan, you think about offerings from Japan, you tend to think of the big three, the Honda Accord, the Toyota Camry, the Nissan Altima. But there's other good brands from Japan as well that have good offerings in this category. Let's not forget, say, the Mazda 6, or even what's beside me right here, which is the Subaru Legacy. For 2020, Subaru has come out with a 7th generation Legacy. It has a number of the well-known technologies and features that our Subaru owners have come to love. It really has got a brand with high retention value, but there's some new technologies in here as well. I have the GT Premier trim, and it's something I've been looking forward to driving and reviewing. So the 2020 Subaru Legacy GT Premier is the feature of my latest review. The exterior design of the 2020 Subaru Legacy is for the most part simple but effective. It offers a conservative design, but one that is aerodynamic and generally on point with today's modern design. But truthfully, the noteworthy elements of the new Legacy's design are less superficial and more substantial. It's built on Subaru's new global platform and provides an increase in the use of structural adhesive and ultra-high tensile strength steel to the frame. This contributes to improved responsiveness and overall driving dynamics. In the event of a collision, the new Legacy's body absorbs over 40% more energy in front-side crashes than the outgoing model. Powering the 2020 Legacy are two all-new engine designs. Most trims of the Legacy are equipped with a 2.5-liter Subaru Boxer engine, which has been almost entirely overhauled with 90% new parts, as well as direct injection and auto stop-start for efficient operation and reduced emissions. The new 2.5-liter engine produces 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. The 2020 Legacy also marks the return of a turbocharged GT variant to the nameplate. It's a 2.4-liter Subaru Boxer that produces 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. Turbocharged Legacy models benefit from a broad torque curve, achieving peak output between 2,000 and 4,800 RPM. Subaru claims that the turbocharged Legacy will go from 0 to 100 km an hour in just over 6 seconds. Fuel economy numbers for the two engines are okay, but not class-leading. The fact that Subaru offers standard symmetrical all-wheel drive for all Legacy trims certainly impacts fuel economy to some degree. The base 2.5-liter engine offers a combined fuel economy rating of 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers or 30 US miles per gallon. For the 2.4-liter Turbo GT model, combined fuel economy numbers are 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers or 27 US miles per gallon. Now, in my week of driving the GT engine, I never quite achieved the ratings posted, as I hovered typically about 15% above the posted combined numbers. Subaru's patented EyeSight safety technology is standard across all trims of the Legacy, which includes features like adaptive cruise control, lane departure and sway warning, lane keep assist, lead vehicle start alert, and more. So one of the new technological advancements inside this 2020 Legacy is a new safety technology that Subaru has brought into other vehicles as well. It's called the distraction management system, or it's essentially a camera, if you can imagine. It's basically staring at me above the center console, and what it does is it's able to measure or monitor based upon separation of eyes and facial features. It recognizes up to 5 people, and it doesn't take videos or photos or record any audio or not, but what it's doing is basically monitoring your face, making sure that your eyes are looking ahead where you should be when you're driving a vehicle. If you were to be distracted, if you were looking left and right, if you were even nodding off after a long drive and falling asleep, when I'm going to see if I can try and replicate it here, I'm going to try and look down. If I was to be looking away, it sends me a little auditory reminder and information here on the information screen that says basically keep your eyes on the road. It's an interesting bit of technology that takes a bit of getting used to, I'll be honest. Not that you should be worried about someone watching you anyway, but I find that as I was getting used to this technology in place, I was being even more vigilant than I normally would at keeping my eyes on the road. I don't typically stray side to side, but nonetheless, this has been a very effective tool It's kind of almost like Big Brother watching you. And it's worked out to be pretty effective for me overall as a bit of an, maybe a bit of an instructor, as an additional bit of reminding you should always stay focused. You can disengage it if you want, although I'm not sure why you would want to do that, because it's meant for safety. It's won awards, this technology. It's been recognized for its advancement, and it's a really interesting feature that's available on the premier trim of this 2020 Legacy. Another benefit of the new global platform that the 2020 Legacy is built on is that almost all measurable interior dimensions have been expanded to improve passenger comfort. Total passenger volume is a comfortable 102.5 cubic feet. Rear occupants enjoy an impressive 39.5 inches of legroom, which now leads the segment. It's roomy enough for 3 adults so long as the drive isn't too long, and it's easily roomy enough for 3 children. There's 15.1 cubic feet of cargo space in the trunk, and I had no trouble fitting in my weekly groceries when testing out the space. The overall interior of the Legacy, especially my GT Premier tester, was perhaps what impressed me the most. The genuine Nappa leather seating surfaces had an upscale look to it, and the two-tone interior really was appealing to the eye. The 10-way power adjustable driver's seat with manual cushion length adjustment was comfortable and well supported. Clearly the most dominant feature of the front dash is the massive 11.6-inch touchscreen display, which is standard on all trims above the base convenience level. The screen is where you'll access the climate, navigation, and audio controls, as well as a connection to both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Rotary knobs for volume and tuning, as well as temperature controls and front rear defog, are the only non-digital controls that are on the center stack. I'd prefer to see the heated cooled seat controls as a button as well instead of being on the touchscreen, but otherwise it's a pretty easy system to use overall. Driver instruments are easy to read and laid out appropriately, with the center programmable information cluster full of customizable and relevant information. The Legacy is also a quiet ride with minimal outside noise seeping through, even at highway speeds. And what little noise I did hear was easily drowned out by the 12-speaker 576-watt Harman Kardon sound system that my top-end tester was equipped with. You know, when you're going to review a Subaru, you tend to have a natural tendency to draw back to some of the technologies that they've done so well at promoting, the symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, for example, or their EyeSight technology. But you know, my final thoughts when looking at this 2020 Subaru Legacy Premier GT is that it all just really works well together. I came away quite impressed after spending my week in this vehicle, and I think all in all, it just is a great, solid ride. I mean, I'm not totally convinced to this day that all-wheel drive is necessary all the time. It would be great if you could at least disengage when not necessary, because one of the disadvantages, of course, is it does increase the fuel economy, and I think that's one of the drawbacks I have of this, is that it wasn't as fuel efficient as I overall would have really liked it to be. But in general, I just enjoyed my time in this. I was comfortable in the interior. I really like how it looks inside. The anti-distraction technology is something that I think once the more I used it, I really got to like. It is a bit of a new thing to have something watching you all the time, but overall I just think this vehicle is really well laid out and packaged together. So if you're in that mid-size sedan category, if that's the vehicle of your choice and you're looking at Japanese brands, do not make your final decision until you've included this and taken this 2020 Subaru Legacy out for a test drive as well. I came away impressed, and I think you might as well. That's it for this review. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and you know, I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.